Hello Gemini, welcome to the future. Today is your reading for June 1st, 2021, Wednesday. The theme for today's reading, soulmate. Now that's a fun one for me because of course here in this town, I dance with that continuously, but again, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies. But whatever this means to you, whether it's your person or your profession or whatever it is that drives you, it's where your passion lies and what consumes you and completes you. I'm not much on small talk, but we do good work. Stealing knowledge from the enemy's camp, a classic one for you, 7 of Swords. You see in the picture, he's carrying the enemy's weapons and walking away with them slyly. This says that while allegiances may differ between you and the one that's close to you, or whatever it is, it's not going to prevent you from coming together, and maybe it even will end with you not holding the same allegiances that you began with. Either way, it's a sign that some guile will be necessary, and so don't trumpet your intentions too loudly. The Master's Apprentice, one of my favorite cards, 3 of Pentacles. Here, once again, we have the apprentice overseen by a couple of masters, improving a piece of art, accepting their critique, and working to make sure that the job is done right, instead of impetuously rushing forward. Take the advice. Don't rebuke it. Get the work done properly. Now, in context of finding one's soulmate, I take this to mean that you've got some work that still needs to be done, and you're not yet the master. Which is to say that if you rush into things and simply say, "Here I am," then it's not really going to succeed. And so, be patient. Temperance. In fitting with the reading for 2 days ago, you're going to have to master your passions and find balance in order to succeed. You've come to the end of the road and you've dipped your toe into the water that suggests where your soulmate or your passion lies. Don't dive in until you've mastered yourself first, otherwise the waters will subsume you. It's a challenge when you've got someone who also has deep waters. It's easy to get absorbed into them. Make sure that your own are in order first. I love it when 2 pop out. Ordinarily, I just go with the top card, but this fits with Temperance, and it popped up 2 days ago as well in relation to the same card, Temperance, which is to say, master your bestial nature. Master your bestial nature and let your higher self shine through in order to succeed in finding that which you desire. That happy family at the end of the road. Whether the family is indeed the literal one or a marriage to career, I can't say for you, but I know that I can say for me, and well, I won't. Oh, but you all treasure vulnerability, don't you? Another day. I like this one in the context of what we're doing, because the Queen of Cups is someone who sits on the land, but sits by the water, and the pebbles that rise with the tide have collected around her. She holds the chalice, and this is someone who has achieved emotional mastery and compassion. This suggests to me, soften your edges and become less cruel. Don't be so mission-driven to find that which you seek, but instead allow it to be drawn to you. As the tide washes the pebbles to the shore, so too will you be brought together. The Hierophant suggests that you'd be best served to seek someone who is on as solid a foundation as you. The Hierophant is one who has mastered spirituality and dogma to the point where they dictate their own terms but still honor the past. So too, you need to ensure that your vision is clear and theirs is before you join. Otherwise, one will be bowing before the papessa, and the other will find themselves in the position of one telling the other what to do. Best to approach as equals. What is your greatest enemy? This is a challenge, especially considering the Hierophant coming up, but for me in this context, the High Priestess is one who sits alone. She's someone who is, of course, she's achieved balance and mastery in many ways, but it's someone who sits in solitude and someone who doesn't necessarily require another. As we develop emotionally and spiritually, we find ourselves in a position where we learn that we don't require a relationship for happiness. We find happiness within ourselves and we find balance within ourselves, and to a certain extent, it allows us to overlook the joys and necessity of finding that soulmate, of finding that which completes you. For you already feel complete, but think of it instead as an augmentation. This is a point where if you join together with this thing, that which is already great will be enhanced. Embrace it. And your greatest ally. Once again, boundaries. Queen of Swords. Discernment and welcoming people in. The sword is held high to push back that which you can't trust. The hand welcomes it in. I interpret this to mean that in order to let love happen, you need to let love in. And those of us who have been wounded in the past are all too eager to cut off anyone or anything that gets a little bit too close. Don't let love die. Thank you, Gemini. Have a good day.